Kate Rogers dug her fingers into the purple soil of Proxima Centauri b, carefully removing a strange plant with 5-sided leaves. The 2 suns beat down on her back as she worked. She loved her job as a botanist on humanity's first outpost on another world. After 3 months here, she still found each day exciting and new. "Kate! Kate!" The voice came from behind her. She turned to see Pete, a young communications officer, running toward her. His face was red, and he was breathing hard. "What's wrong?" Kate asked, putting her plant sample in a clear container. "Commander Wright needs you right away." "Aliens have arrived!" Pete's eyes were wide with excitement. "Real aliens, not just plants and bugs, smart aliens with a huge ship." Kate blinked in surprise. No one had expected to meet intelligent aliens here. This planet was supposed to be uninhabited. "Are you serious?" "Yes. They call themselves the Valdari. They want to meet someone from Earth. They asked for a non-military person." Pete grabbed her arm. "The commander sent me to get you. We need to hurry." 20 minutes later, Kate stood in Commander Alan Wright's office, still wearing her dirt-covered field clothes. The commander paced back and forth, his gray hair messy from running his hands through it too many times. "This changes everything," he said. "The Valdari say they are part of something called the Galactic Confederation, hundreds of alien species working together, and they're very interested in us." "But why me?" Kate asked. "I study plants. I'm not trained for first contact." Commander Wright stopped pacing and looked at her. "They asked for someone who isn't military. You're smart, calm, good with new situations, and you've completed all the training for dealing with alien biology." He sighed. "Plus, they specifically requested a female representative. Something about their culture." Kate felt her heart race. "This is crazy. I don't know anything about diplomacy." "None of us do," Wright said. "We're scientists and engineers, not diplomats. But this is happening whether we're ready or not." He handed her a small device. "This is a translator they sent over. It should help you communicate." "When do they want to meet?" Kate asked, turning. The strange metal object in her hand. "Now. They've sent a shuttle for you." The trip to the Valdari ship was short but terrifying. Kate sat alone in a small shuttle that flew itself. No windows, just smooth metal walls that hummed softly, her stomach twisted with nerves. What if she made a mistake? What if she accidentally started an interstellar war? When the door finally opened, Kate stepped out into a huge room bigger than anything humans had ever built in space. The ceiling, arched so high she could hardly see it. The walls curved in strange, beautiful patterns that seemed to change color as she looked at them. Soft blue light came from everywhere and nowhere. "Welcome, human Kate Rogers." The voice came from a tall figure stepping toward her. Kate gasped. The alien stood nearly 7 feet tall with shiny silver skin and 4 long arms. Its face had 2 large eyes with no pupils, just solid purple color. Where a nose should be, there were 3 small slits. No visible ears, but a mouth that seemed to smile. "I am Zelak, your guide while aboard our vessel," the alien said. The translator, in Kate's hand, converted the strange musical sounds into English. "Are you well? Your heart rate is elevated and your skin is producing moisture." Kate realized she was sweating. "I'm fine, just nervous. You're the first intelligent alien life humans have ever met." Zelak made a sound like gentle bells. "How interesting. Your species has achieved space travel without previous contact. Most unusual." The alien gestured with one of its 4 arms. "Please follow me. The High Council is eager to meet you." As they walked through curved hallways, other Valdari stopped to stare at Kate. Some were taller than Zelak, others shorter. Their skin colors ranged from pure silver to bluish tints. All had 4 arms and moved with a smooth grace that reminded Kate of dancers. "Your ship is amazing," Kate said, trying to sound friendly. "This is merely a scout vessel," Zelak replied. "Our home ships are much larger. This one holds only 5,000 Valdari." Kate almost stumbled. 5,000. Our largest space station holds 100 people, and we thought that was impressive. Most fascinating, Zelak said. Tell me, how do humans survive on your world? Our scans show Earth has crushing gravity, extreme temperature shifts, deadly radiation, and dangerous atmospheric components. Kate frowned. Earth isn't dangerous. It's just home. By the standards of most Confederation worlds, Earth is classified as a death world, a planet so hostile that evolution must produce exceptionally hardy life forms. Zelak's purple eyes studied her with new interest. This explains much about your physical structure, the dense bone formation, the redundant organ systems, the efficient cooling mechanism through skin excretions. Before Kate could ask what, that meant they arrived at a large door that slid open silently. Inside was a chamber where several Valdari sat in a half-circle. In the center was the largest Valdari Kate had seen yet, with blue-tinted silver skin covered in swirling patterns. High Commander Vortan, Zelak announced with a small bow. I present Catherine Rogers of Earth. The large alien looked Kate up and down slowly. So this is a human. Smaller than I expected for a creature from a death world. Kate straightened. Her back. Humans come in different sizes, High Commander. Indeed. Vortan's voice was deeper than Zelak's, making the translator vibrate in her hand. We have studied your transmissions. Your species has built impressive technology despite evolving on such a hostile planet. This suggests unusual abilities. A new Valdari stepped forward, this one clearly more muscular than the others. Its silver skin was marked with red lines, and it moved with controlled power that made Kate think of predators. This is Karvosh, Vortan said, our top combat specialist. He will assess your species' defensive capabilities. Kate felt suddenly cold despite the comfortable temperature. I'm not a soldier, High Commander. I study plants. I'm a botanist. Vortan made a gesture Kate couldn't interpret. All creatures from death worlds possess natural defenses. It is a required part of evolution in such environments. This assessment is standard procedure when the Confederation meets new species. Assessment? Kate's mouth felt dry. What does that mean exactly? A simple process to categorize your species' physical attributes, Vortan explained. Strength, speed, reaction time, threat response, all new species must be classified before formal relations can begin. And if I refuse? Kate asked, looking around at the alien faces surrounding her. Then, humans would be classified as an unassessed species, Vortan said. This would severely limit your rights within Confederation space and prevent technology sharing. Kate took a deep breath. She was just supposed to be studying alien plants, not representing all of humanity in some weird alien combat test. But she didn't seem to have much choice. What do I need to do? She asked, hoping she wasn't about to make a terrible mistake. Karvosh stepped closer. Despite having no expression Kate could read, something about the alien radiated confidence. The assessment has 3 parts. It will not cause permanent damage. You need only respond naturally to each challenge. Kate glanced back at the door, now closed behind her. She was alone on an alien ship, about to take a test she knew nothing about, that would somehow determine humanity's future in space. When do we start? She asked, trying to keep her voice steady. Now, said Karvosh. 2 Valdari guards led Kate down a long hallway. Zelak walked beside her, trying to be helpful. The assessment is normal, Zelak said. All new species must complete it. But I'm not a soldier, Kate said again. I dig up plants, I study leaves, and roots. Your job does not matter, Zelak replied. The test measures what your species can do naturally, what your bodies can do because you evolved on a dangerous world. They entered a large, round room that made Kate think of both a doctor's office and a fighting ring. Small flying robots hovered in the corners, their camera lenses watching her. Behind a clear wall, several Valdari sat with tablets, ready to take notes. High Commander Vortan sat on a raised platform above everyone else. Karvosh stood in the middle of the room. He had put metal bands on his forearms that glowed with blue light. Standing nearly 8 feet tall with much more muscle than the other Valdari, He looked like he could snap Kate in half without trying. "This is crazy," Kate whispered to Zelak. "I can't fight that thing." "It is not about fighting skill," Zelak said kindly. "Just your natural abilities. Every species takes the same test when we first meet them." Vortan's deep voice filled the room. "The test will follow our standard rules. Karvash will perform 3 different testing sequences, each one harder than the last. The human will show natural defensive responses." Kate crossed her arms. "And what if I just say no? Then our laws would force us to label humans as an unassessed species," Zelak explained. "This would stop you from traveling in Confederation space and block any technology sharing." Zelak sounded sorry. "It is unfortunate, but we cannot change the rules." Karvash walked toward Kate. Despite his huge size, he moved smoothly and gracefully. "I will not cause lasting harm," he promised, his deep voice coming through Kate's translator. "This is just a formality." Kate took a deep breath. She wished she had taken those self-defense classes at the outpost when she had the chance. "Fine. What do I need to do?" "Stand in the circle," Karvash said, pointing to a glowing ring on the floor. "The first sequence will test your reflexes and how you recognize threats." Kate stepped into the circle. She felt very small and exposed in her dirty jumpsuit with the Earth Space Initiative patch on the shoulder. This was not how she had planned to spend her day. Karvash moved to stand about 10 feet away. Without any warning, one of his upper arms moved quickly, throwing a small object straight at Kate's face. Kate didn't have time to think. She ducked and the object flew past her head, missing by inches. "Acceptable reflex speed," said a computer voice from somewhere in the room. Before Kate could even stand up straight again, 2 more objects came flying at her from different angles. She twisted her body awkwardly, avoiding one but feeling the other hit her shoulder. It was soft and didn't hurt, clearly designed to mark her but not injure her. "Partial evasion capabilities," the computer noted. The tests continued for several minutes. Kate found herself dodging, ducking, and jumping to avoid the objects that Karvash kept throwing at her. Sometimes she succeeded, sometimes she failed. By the end of the first test, she was breathing hard, her heart pounding from both physical effort and anger. "The human shows standard Class 3 evasion abilities," Karvash announced. "Good enough for a regular civilian from a heavy gravity world." Vortan nodded. "Continue to the second sequence." Karvash stepped closer to Kate. "This sequence will test how you respond to physical contact." Kate backed up instinctively. "What does that mean exactly?" "I will try basic holding techniques. You will respond naturally." Before Kate could say anything else, Karvash moved incredibly fast. 1 second he was standing several feet away. The next he was behind her, 2 of his arms reaching for her shoulders. Kate reacted without thinking. Years of hiking through thick forests on Earth helped her. She dropped down and slipped sideways, avoiding his grasp by just inches. "Interesting," Karvash said, adjusting his position. Again. What followed was a strange kind of dance. The huge Valdari tried various ways to grab and hold Kate, while she twisted, turned, and squirmed away. She had never learned how to fight, but a childhood spent climbing trees and exploring caves, plus years doing fieldwork in rough terrain, had given her good balance and awareness of her surroundings. The human shows unexpected movement abilities, consistent with Deathworld evolution, the computer voice said. Gravity adaptation visible in muscle density and reaction patterns. By the end of the second test, Kate was covered in sweat and getting really annoyed. "Is all this really necessary?" she asked angrily, looking at Vortan. The High Commander's face showed no emotion Kate could read. "The final sequence is required to complete the assessment." Karvash moved to stand directly in front of Kate. "The third sequence tests defensive force generation." "What does that mean?" Kate asked, backing away slightly. "You will try to break free from my hold using whatever force or technique feels natural to you." Kate stared at him. "You want me to attack you? I already told you I'm not trained to fight." "Training does not matter," Karvash said. "This measures what your body naturally knows how to do." Several of the watching Valdari were taking notes now. The flying camera robots moved closer, focusing on Kate. Just to be very clear, Kate said carefully, you're going to grab me and I'm supposed to… What? Hit you? Throw you? I really don't know what you expect. Expectations limit results, Karvash replied. Just react naturally when I restrain. You. Before Kate could argue more, Karvash moved forward with that incredible speed again. His forearms wrapped around her, lifting her slightly off the ground in what humans might call a bear hug. He was careful not to hurt her, but she couldn't move her arms. Now, he said, respond naturally. Kate struggled, pushing against his arms. She was strong for her size. Working in the field on Earth had built up her muscles, but Karvash was much stronger. His grip was firm but controlled, holding her without hurting her. This isn't exactly a fair test, she said through gritted teeth, still pushing against his arms. Fairness is not relevant, Vortan called from his platform. Only your physical capabilities matter. Kate tried to think. She had studied some biology and knew that in nature, smaller creatures often had special defenses against larger predators. But what could she do against someone so much bigger and stronger? She stopped struggling and tried to think clearly. What advantages did humans have? Not raw strength, obviously. Speed? Maybe. But not in this position. Intelligence? Yes. But how would that help right now? Then she remembered something from her training about alien biology. Different species had different tolerances for various substances. What was harmless to one species could be irritating or even toxic to another. Well, Kate said calmly, you should know that human skin constantly releases substances. When we're stressed or exert ourselves, we produce a liquid called sweat. It contains salt and various acids. As she said this, Karvash seemed to become aware of the moisture that had transferred from Kate's skin to his arms. His grip loosened just slightly as he processed this information. Also, Kate continued, keeping her voice steady, humans evolved as endurance hunters. We're not built for quick bursts of strength like you seem to be. We can maintain moderate effort for hours or even days. I could probably stay in this position for a very long time, continuing to produce potentially irritating sweat. The watching Valdari started murmuring to each other. One of them stepped forward. The human female raises an interesting point about cross-species contact, the Valdari scientist said. Our scans show their skin secretions contain several compounds that could cause discomfort with extended exposure to Valdari skin. Karvash's grip loosened a bit more. One more thing, Kate said, looking directly at Vortan. Humans evolved as social creatures. Our real strength is working together. Right now, every human at the Earth outpost knows exactly where I am. If I don't return on schedule, they will come looking for me. With that statement, Kate completely relaxed in Karvash's hold. She made no more effort to free herself physically. Instead, she kept steady eye contact with Vortan, her face calm, but determined. The room went quiet. The Valdari behind the clear wall whispered to each other, looking back and forth between Kate and their leader. After a long moment, Vortan made a hand gesture. Release her. Karvash immediately let go and stepped back. Kate thought she saw something like respect in the way he stood. Fascinating, Vortan said, coming down from his platform. You chose to use your mind instead of your body. Kate straightened. Her jumpsuit. I used the best tool I had available. That's what humans do. The Valdari Council called an emergency meeting after Kate's unusual performance in the assessment. Kate sat in a small waiting room, drinking water from a strange curved container Zelak had given her. How long will they talk? Kate asked, feeling tired after the testing. It is not common for a new species to respond as you did, Zelak explained. Most try to show physical strength or speed. Using your mind instead of your body has confused many. Kate smiled slightly. On Earth, we have many stories about small creatures outsmarting bigger, stronger ones. The tortoise and the hare, David and Goliath, the mouse and the lion. Intriguing, Zelak said, the translator making the alien's musical voice sound curious. Your culture values mental strength over physical? We value both, Kate said. But throughout our history, Humans with less physical power have found ways to succeed using their minds. It's how we survived on Earth with so many larger predators. Before Silak could respond, a door slid open. Karvash stood there, his massive frame filling the doorway. "The council requests your presence," he said to Kate. His voice sounded different now, less commanding, more respectful. Kate followed him down curving hallways into a large oval room. In the center was a round table where 7 senior Valdari sat. Vortan was in the biggest chair. They all watched Kate as she entered. "Catherine Rogers of Earth," Vortan said formally. "We have reviewed your assessment performance and have questions." Kate stood straighter, very aware that she wasn't just representing herself but all humans. "I'll answer if I can." "Your approach was unusual," Vortan said. "Most species attempt to demonstrate their strongest physical capabilities during assessment. You chose a different path. Why?" Kate thought carefully about her answer. "Because I recognized it was the best option available. Humans are adaptable. We analyze situations and use what works best in each one." "But you made no attempt to break free using physical force," said another Valdari, this one with darker, silver skin. "Did you not understand the test?" "I understood perfectly," Kate replied. "But I also understood that I couldn't overpower Karvash with strength alone, so I looked for alternatives." Karvash spoke up from behind her. The human demonstrated advanced situational analysis. Rather than futile resistance, she identified potential vulnerabilities: our different biology, her endurance capabilities, and social group protection. "Yes," said a third Valdari, smaller than the others. "But was this natural or calculated? The test measures innate responses, not strategic thinking." Kate smiled. "For humans, strategic thinking is our natural response. It's how we survived on Earth. When facing larger predators, humans learn to work together, to use tools, to find weaknesses. It's built into us now." The room went quiet as the Valdari considered this. Kate could see them exchanging looks that probably had meaning, but she couldn't interpret them. Finally, Vortan spoke again. "We have studied your planet from a distance. Earth has gravity 1.4 times the Confederation average, temperature variations from 50 to plus 150 degrees in your measurement system, constant radiation from your sun, oxygen levels toxic to many species, predators of incredible variety, poisonous plants and animals, disease microorganisms everywhere." He paused. "Yet your species not only survived but became the dominant life form." "We adapted," Kate said simply. "Each challenge pushed us to develop new solutions." "Show me your hands," Vortan requested suddenly. Kate held out her hands, wondering what this was about. A scanning beam passed over them from a device in the table. The results appeared on a screen visible to all the Valdari, showing the bone, structure, muscle arrangement, and nerve pathways of human hands. "Remarkable," said the smaller Valdari. "Such fine motor control, perfect for tool creation and manipulation. Your brain shows unusual development as well," Vortan continued. "Our scans during the assessment showed intense activity in problem-solving regions. Is this common for all humans?" "Yes," Kate said. "Our brains are our most important survival tool," another Valdari spoke up. "Yet you maintain significant physical capabilities as well. Your muscle density is 1.3 times Confederation average. Your bone strength is 1.7 times average. Your reflexes and reaction time tested in the upper quartile. Living on Earth requires both mental and physical adaptations," Kate explained. "We need strong bodies to survive our environment, but we need smart minds to overcome challenges we can't handle with physical strength alone." Vortan stood up. He was taller than Kate had realized, nearly 9 feet when fully upright. "We must reconsider our evaluation parameters. The human demonstrates what we now recognize as classic Deathworld adaptation, the perfect balance of physical capability and mental problem-solving." The other Valdari all made a gesture that Kate hadn't seen before, placing their lower right hand over the center of their chest and bowing slightly. "What does this mean?" Kate asked Zilak quietly. "It is a sign of respect," Zilak whispered. usually reserved for recognition of wisdom or exceptional ability. Vortan approached Kate directly. "I wish to offer an apology, Catherine Rogers. Of Earth, we have approached first contact with your species using outdated assessment methods. We measured only part of what makes humans remarkable." Kate was surprised but tried not to show it. "No apology needed, High Commander. You were following your protocols." "Protocols that must evolve," Vortan said, "just as life forms evolve." He turned to the other council members. "I propose we classify humans as a Category 7 species, with special notation regarding adaptive intelligence." This caused a stir among the Valdari. Zelak leaned close to Kate. "Category 7 is very rare. Most Confederation species are Category 3 to 5. This will give humans significant standing in interstellar relations." One of the council members raised a hand. "We have insufficient data for such classification. One individual cannot represent an entire species." "Then we should gather more data," Vortan replied. "I propose a cultural exchange program. Valdari, representatives to visit Earth, and human representatives to visit Confederation worlds." "I believe we should first consult the full Confederation Council," argued another Valdari. "This is unprecedented for a first contact scenario." Kate listened to them debate, feeling both proud and nervous. She had somehow turned a simple assessment into a major diplomatic event. As a botanist, she was way outside her expertise. "May I make a suggestion?" she asked, when there was a pause in the discussion. All the Valdari turned to look at her. "I understand this classification is important to you, but I'm not qualified to negotiate on behalf of Earth. I think we should establish regular communication between your leaders and ours. Start small. Exchange scientific information, cultural data, basic technology. Build trust before making big decisions." The council members looked at each other. Vortan made a sound that Kate's translator didn't convert, perhaps a laugh or expression of surprise. "Again, you demonstrate the adaptive thinking that makes Deathworlders remarkable," Vortan said. "Your suggestion has merit. Small steps built on mutual understanding." He turned to the other council members. "We will postpone final classification pending further exchange. In the meantime, we will establish a communication protocol with the Earth outpost and begin sharing non-sensitive information." Most of the Valdari nodded in agreement. Vortan turned back to Kate. "Catherine Rogers of Earth, you have turned what was meant to be a simple assessment into the beginning of what I believe will be a valuable alliance. Your approach to the challenge using intelligence rather than force has taught us something important about your species." Kate smiled. "And I've learned something too. What seems normal to us might be extraordinary to others. Earth's challenges have shaped humans in ways we don't even recognize until we see ourselves through alien eyes." "A wise observation," Vortan said. "Perhaps that is the greatest value of interspecies contact, seeing ourselves anew through the perspective of others." 1 week later, Kate sat in the Earth Outpost's main meeting room. Around the table were Commander Wright and the 5 other department heads. They all stared at her with wide eyes as she finished telling them about her experiences on the Valdari ship. "So let me get this straight," said Dr. Ben Harris, the medical director. "You defeated their top warrior by sweating on him?" Kate laughed. "Not exactly. I just used my brain instead of trying to use muscle. I realized I couldn't overpower him, so I found another way." Commander Wright shook his head in amazement. "And now they've classified humans as a Category 7 species. What does that even mean?" "According to Zelak, it means we get special status in their confederation," Kate explained. "Most species are Categories 3 to 5. Category 7 is rare, given only to species with exceptional adaptive abilities." "All because you didn't punch an alien," said Lisa Chen, the engineering chief, grinning. "What happens now?" asked Wright, looking at the stack of data tablets the Valdari had sent back with Kate. Each one contained information about Confederation technology, biology, and culture, basic information, but still far beyond what humans currently understood. "They want to establish regular communication," Kate said. They're sending a small delegation here next month, and they've invited 3 of us to visit their homeworld. This changes everything, Wright said, looking out the window at the purple landscape of Proxima Centauri b. We came here to study alien plants and maybe find some microbes. Instead, we've made first contact with an advanced galactic civilization. And they're impressed with us, added Lisa. Who would have thought? Kate smiled. That's the most surprising part. They think Earth is some kind of super harsh death planet and they're amazed we survived there, let alone built spaceships and colonized other worlds. To be fair, Dr. Harris said, from their perspective, Earth probably is pretty extreme. Higher gravity, more radiation, wider temperature swings, more oxygen. Plus all the lovely bacteria, viruses, predators, and natural disasters, added Kate. Apparently, most inhabited worlds in the Confederation are much more stable. Wright tapped his fingers on the table. Kate, I know you're a botanist, not a diplomat, but you've handled this situation remarkably well. Would you consider being our official representative to the Valdari? Kate hesitated. I still want to do my research. That's why I came here. You can do both, Wright assured her. In fact, the Valdari seem very interested in earth plants and how they evolved in our harsh environment. Your botanical knowledge could be valuable in diplomatic exchanges. Before Kate could respond, the communication system beeped. Commander, said a voice, the Valdari ship is sending a transmission. They want to speak with Kate Rogers. Wright looked at Kate. Your call. Kate took a deep breath, put it through to the main screen. The large screen on the wall lit up, showing Vortan's silver-blue face. Behind him stood Karvash and Zidlak. Catherine Rogers, Vortan said formally. The Confederation Council has reviewed our report on humanity. They have questions and wish to meet with you directly. Kate stood up. Hi, Commander. I'm not sure I'm the right person for this. I'm a scientist, not a diplomat. Vortan made a gesture that Kate now knew meant understanding. You underestimate your abilities. Your approach to the assessment has changed Confederation thinking. For centuries, we have valued physical capabilities as primary indicators of species potential. You have demonstrated that adaptive intelligence may be more important. Kate glanced at Commander Wright, who nodded encouragingly. What exactly would meeting the Council involve? Travel to the Confederation's central world, Vortan replied. A journey of 14 Earth days in our faster-than-light vessels. You would address the Council of Species, answer their questions, and help establish formal relations between humanity and the Confederation. That's a big responsibility, Kate said hesitantly. You would not go alone, Vortan assured her. You may bring 2 other humans, and Zilak has volunteered to serve as your guide. Zilak stepped forward. It would be my honor. Already many Confederation species are eager to learn about humans and your Deathworld adaptations. Kate thought about it. When she signed up for the Proxima Centauri mission, she had expected to spend 3 years studying alien plants. Now she was being asked to represent all of humanity to an interstellar civilization. Could I continue my botanical research as part of this? She asked. Earth plants have evolved in the same conditions that shaped humans. They might help explain our development. An excellent suggestion, Vortan said, his tone indicating approval. The Confederation has extensive biological research facilities. Your plant studies could become part of the official knowledge exchange. Commander Wright spoke up. Hi, Commander. This is a significant development for Earth. We'll need to consult with our home government before making formal commitments. Of course, Vortan replied. We understand the need for proper protocols. The invitation remains open while you consult your leaders. After the transmission ended, the room was quiet for a moment. Then everyone started talking at once. This is huge. Earth government will flip. Think of the technological advances. Commander Wright held up his hand for silence. One thing at a time. Kate, are you willing to continue as our representative, at least for now? Kate thought about her life back on Earth. She had always loved exploring, discovering new things, pushing boundaries. That's why she had volunteered for the Proxima Centauri mission in the first place. This was just a bigger exploration than she had expected. "Yes," she said finally. "I'll do it. But I want Dr. Harris and Lisa to come with me to the Central World. We need medical and engineering expertise if we're going to understand what the Confederation can offer us." "Agreed," said Wright. "I'll notify Earth immediately. They'll need to assemble a formal diplomatic team eventually. But for now, you three are humanity's representatives to the stars." 3 days later, Kate stood in a small garden she had created near the outpost. She had planted seeds from Earth in the alien soil, carefully adjusted with nutrients to support them. The first green shoots were just beginning to appear. Zelak walked up beside her. "Your plants grow well in our soil." "With some adjustments," Kate said, "just like humans will need to adjust to life in the Confederation." "You are natural adapters," Zelak observed. "It is your greatest strength." Kate looked up at the unfamiliar stars. Somewhere out there was the Confederation Central World with thousands of alien species waiting to meet humans for the first time. "Karvosh asked me to give you this," Zelak said, holding out a small metal object shaped like a spiral. "It is the emblem of the Valdari Defense Corps, never before given to a non-Valdari." Kate took it carefully. "I don't understand. I didn't beat him in combat." "That is precisely why he honors you," Zelak explained. "You have taught him, taught all of us, that true victory sometimes comes not from fighting, but from finding a better way." Kate smiled as she pinned the emblem to her jacket. Tomorrow she would board the Valdari ship and begin a journey farther than any human had ever traveled. She would carry with her the plants of Earth, the knowledge of her people, and the unexpected lesson she had taught to an advanced alien civilization, that sometimes the greatest strength is knowing when not to use force. "Tell Karvosh thank you," she said, "and that I look forward to learning from him as well." As the two suns of Proxima Centauri began to set, casting purple and red light across the landscape, Kate felt a surge of excitement. Humanity had found its place among the stars not through conquest or superior technology, but through the very adaptability that had allowed them to survive on their challenging homeworld. The Deathworlder girl who defeated a warrior without moving had opened the door to the universe.